It took long enough, okay, but we finally here. It's the first Chunk podcast ever, and it's happening right now.
Sounds choppy, doesn't it?
It only sounds choppy because your audio is butt cheeks.
Doyle is kind of cutting in and out, though, a little bit.
Well, it's only because if one person talks, it ducks everyone else. There's a way to change it, but we'll deal with that in later podcasts because right now we are currently in the NBA Playoff Preview Podcast 2018, in case anyone's wondering. We actually, everyone in here, I'm pretty sure everyone in here has filled out a bracket, and it is up on the website, thechunkpod.com. You can check it out and see all the blasphemy. Actually, you know what? Now that we're on that subject, Niki has not filled out a bracket, so let's all just boo him right now.
I hate everybody.
He hates everybody, but I am curious to hear his takes on all these, and we can kind of formulate a bracket based off of what he says, which I'm sure will wind up LeBron somehow winning it all.
Right now.
What?
Niki has the Cavs sweeping everyone.
I'm sure he does. It's a LeBron sweep to the finals.
The JJ, anybody who doesn't have Cleveland versus Golden State, you're an idiot, basically.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, there's actually, surprisingly, there's a lot of people who don't have
That's
it.
mean.
True.
But he's not wrong, though.
Okay. We're just going to start with the Eastern Conference, and we'll run down the games.
JJ, you guys not going to lose to anybody. LeBron's not allowed to not be in the finals.
Well,
so
and that's a wrap.
Expand on that, Niki.
No, don't expand on it. That's a wrap. We've already finished.
Delivered.
Okay.
Niki, you think LeBron's not allowed to not be in the final?
the face of the NBA. They're not going to have a finals without him. I promise you that.
Wait. Before we start, are you saying
they're going to fix the game?
You saying NBA's rigged?
All professional sports are rigged.
Okay.
Hot take.
Okay. That's a hot take for sure. Okay, we're just going to start with the Eastern Conference, and then we'll eventually get to the finals. I know everyone's pretty much already given theirs away, but if you've been to the website, thechunkpod.com, you can see them all and have them all at your fingertips. It's very simple, and while you're there, feel free to give us a like on Facebook and any other social medias while you're there. Okay, now that we've held them hostage long enough. Okay, we're going to start with the Toronto Raptors versus the Washington Wizards. Round one. Who do you guys have? Let's start with Lynch, Toronto and Washington. Who do you have taking that?
I have Toronto winning 4-3. I think it's going to be really, really close. I think John Wall finally has a chance to get out of the first round and, do something with the playoff career. Hopefully the injury kept him fresh, but I still think Toronto has the most complete team that they've had since they combined DeMar and Kyle Lowry.
Lynch, how do you have that going 7 games, dude? They're worse now with John Wall back.
What?
Than they were without him.
Ooh. Is that? Are you saying? Oh, I do think Toronto did get screwed out of everybody. This is the worst year to be a 1 seed because they have to face the Washington Wizards, who shouldn't be the 8th seed, honestly, when they're fully healthy. And then in the second round, they already have to deal with LeBron instantly.
Playing Cleveland, oh yeah.
If that is if LeBron makes it out of the first round.
Some people have the Pacers going.
Which, yes.
Who has the Pacers
stop.
going?
We'll get there in a second. All right. Does anybody else have any varying? I don't think there's any other variations other than Toronto taking out Washington. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Toronto choked it in the first round and the Wizards came through.
But I also have them sweeping them. So
I really like the fact that they have the second best record. They are on a little bit of a losing streak, but their points per game are 4th in the NBA, and their rebounds per game are really good too.
It's that guy.
I didn't realize we were bringing stats.
I looked at that stuff, and I think that their offense just has the edge over the Wizards.
To me, the worst part about the Toronto Raptors and this time of the year is stats don't even matter for them anymore because it's like Choketown when they hit the playoffs.
That is true.
So until they prove
DeMar DeRozan and Lowry sucked during the playoffs.
I'd like to see them actually do it. And if this is going to be their year, then fine, so be it, because Boston is in shambles, so I don't really care who comes out of the East anymore. Anyway, we'll just move on to the Cavaliers because this is LeBron's East right now. So the Cavaliers taking on the Indiana Pacers. And what my personal favorite part of this is it's LeBron versus Lance Stevenson, round 58. I just love seeing it.
I just want to hear JJ explain how the Pacers are going to beat the Cavs.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked them as a big upset. I don't think that LeBron is going to be able to carry the entire team on his back.
Out of my chest. Oh God.
I just don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Hot take.
Nikki, how do you feel about this?
I feel like the Pacers' defense is a little bit better than people give them credit for.
Nikki,
respond.
He's just giggling in the background. He's giggling.
Not gonna entertain that.
Nikki's like, he came with facts and numbers, and I will just laugh.
LeBron James is like undefeated in the first round or something like that. I mean, like
also LeBron James. So
that means he's due to lose. It sounds like.
Ooh,
never will.
Not really, or just he doesn't. He can't. He doesn't know how to lose in the first round.
All right, moving on. We still have, Cavaliers, Pacers. JJ seems to think the Pacers are going to take them out in 7 games respectfully. I mean, it's going to. He gave at least the Cavaliers 3 games, so he has some respect for LeBron.
I gave the Pacers 1, so
I gave him 2. I honestly think these Cavs aren't. I mean, I think they're going to make it to the finals. Spoiler alert, but I don't think it's going to be easy. It's not going to be LeBron easy.
I think I think the Cavs, like, once the playoffs turn up, LeBron's gonna ball out, and they have like a good team. They have one of the best teams out there, I think.
Well, when you have the best player in the world, I guess
their whole teams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they got what's his name? They got Love. Kevin Love's a beast. Underrated.
Kevin Love's arguably.
LeBron's gone in the playoff Instagram and social media shutdown modes. So
man, that sucks.
Zero dark 30.
20 wasn't it 23? I don't know. All right, moving on. Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Miami Heat. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, unanimously picked the Philadelphia 76ers, and probably because they've won like 16 straight games.
Trust the process.
That's it?
Tank season.
Is he coming back? Is he going to play in the first game?
Embiid?
Game 2.
Yeah.
2.
Embiid.
Wait, he's coming back in the first round?
Yeah, game 2.
I thought it was round 2.
No, it's he dropped the picture the other day and it said that
he has a mask.
Yeah, he has a mask, and he said, "See you game 2."
Which wasn't that mask black? I don't think they're going to allow him to wear it. After LeBron did it.
Kyrie wears a black mask.
What? No, LeBron did it. I
think they banned black masks.
Yeah, they
after
banned it after that.
Person that did it.
Oh, well, that was Kyrie. So.
Oh, well, they don't want people looking like Batman out in the court, I guess, which is a shame because it would be awesome if everybody could just wear masks.
The Heat have a decent defense, but otherwise.
Well, what I thought is, I thought Embiid was going to be out the entire first round, and I just thought Hassan Whiteside was just going to feast the entire series. And if Embiid comes back and plays 20 minutes, that should be enough to make it pretty easy for the 76ers.
You gotta do your research, Doyle.
Oh, listen, it's still Embiid. He could come back. He could come back in game 2 and be gone the rest of the series. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
I got Philly winning in 7.
I
7? Think it's gonna be a long
yeah,
series.
I picked it in 6. I think the Miami Heat don't have a lot of great players, but they have a lot of scrappy players that are probably going to make it difficult for anybody. But
and they got Wade too.
Oh yes, the carcass of Dwayne Wade.
No respect.
Okay, yeah.
Wade County.
Well, nobody respected him because everybody picked Philadelphia. So we're just going to move on here. My Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And I say my because, rest in peace, their entire roster is in shambles, and it makes me sad. Everybody pretty much picked Boston, except for Lynch, who picked Milwaukee. Lynch is probably the only one here with a level head. I certainly wasn't level-headed in this pick. So, Lynch, tell me why you picked Milwaukee.
I mean, like you said, their entire team is in shambles. I figured that Giannis and Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe can, get the job done in 7 games.
I forgot that Eric Bledsoe. He's good.
It's going to take them 7 games, but I think, adding the piece of Eric Bledsoe in the middle of the year, took them that next step to where that they're able to make that step. And, everyone forgets about Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker's,
True. He's back.
Fresh. It's his first playoffs ever because, he hasn't torn his ACL this year. Yes.
Oh my God.
Has anybody noticed that Lynch has Boston with 4 wins, Milwaukee with 3, but he still moved Milwaukee up?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Because Because Doyle added that wrong.
Yep,
so.
I totally did that. That was 100% my fault. But he did pick Milwaukee.
I thought that was a Lynch thing. I was gonna rip him a new one right now.
To be fair, it was a late entry, and I had to whip it up right before this podcast. So I will fix it.
Lynch.
So by the time
it doesn't matter who wins, he's always right. Oh, I had Boston at 4.
Yeah. Go back and be like, I don't know what you're saying.
Classic Lynch.
This one bothered me, by the way, because I know that the Celtics aren't going to make it to the finals. It's just going to happen at some point. But I had the hardest time trying to figure out when they were going to exit. To me, Brad Stevens, I think, is the best coach in the league, and I don't think I'm just being selfish or
biased. You're
biased. That's what it is. I don't think I'm being biased at all. But the dude, I think, he's strong enough to win a series even without Kyrie and without Gordon Hayward, who we've only seen play for 5 minutes. So
yeah, that's what I think. I put Boston in 7 just because of the coach.
Yeah,
Stevens
are playing good. Tatum and Brown, they're playing awesome. I think they'll beat them. Milwaukee's young as well, so just stop Giannis and you'll be good, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to stop him, but I think they have enough bodies to throw at him to
contain
Brown.
him and change up defenses and throw this, throw that at him and confuse him a little bit, get him out of his game, and then Boston will do good.
Yeah, and we're going to be playing a lot of scrubs. Not that they're scrubs, but like a lot of bench guys.
Yabu.
And
So
yeah,
scrappy people too, though.
Yabu's a big body you can throw at Giannis. Probably not quick enough to keep up, but Shemi Olajuwon will absolutely is strong enough to stay in front of Giannis, though, I think, and that's going to be. People are going to be looking for that, but no one even really knows who that
What
is.
is a Shemi Olajuwon?
Shemi Olajuwon. Get it right. Get it tight. You'll see him in the
is that?
playoffs. You'll see him in the playoffs. The dude he's jacked. He's a LeBron stopper. Anyway,
No such thing as a LeBron stopper.
a LeBron slower.
In his mouth.
A slower. Okay, we're just gonna head over to the Western Conference now. Or do you want to keep going all the way Eastern until we make it to the finals, or do you want to go first round West?
No.
First round, and I agree with Lynch. Milwaukee in 7.
Okay.
Hey, attaboy.
I'm not mad at anybody that picks Milwaukee because honestly, it's probably the right thing to pick. I just honestly think Boston still has enough to win a first round series with Brad Stevens and what he's got. Anyway, first round on the Western Conference, Houston Rockets taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Which, by the way, did anybody watch some of that game last night where it was the Nuggets versus Timberwolves, and it was basically like a 1-game playoff series?
I saw the end. The last
it went into overtime, but it was pretty nuts, and it actually lived up to the hype for a game that was, I think it was the first play-in game that they had since 1988. Who just made a fart noise?
Was that?
Disgusting.
Okay, I don't know if it was real or not, but either way, we're just going to keep rolling. I don't think anybody's picked Minnesota over Houston Rockets. They're the number 1 team in the
steal
league.
A game from them, but that's just because they got Cat, and he'll play pretty good one game. But I think Houston's going to be Houston and shoot a bunch of threes their way to the top.
Oh yeah.
What he said. James Harden.
I got Minnesota in 2 games, but Houston definitely.
Yeah, Minnesota's been kind of weird all year, where you've kind of expected them to do things and they haven't. But maybe at some point they'll flick the switch. But I doubt they're going to take down the Houston Rockets.
You get Jimmy Butler back, but
well, he's playing. He's back. Oh, you mean like good Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, hopefully productive for their sake. But I don't think even with those 3 guys playing good, then that they don't have a chance, really.
Yeah, no.
Jimmy Butler only has 22 points per game, and James Harden's 30 points per game, and these other teams just seem to have better players.
James Harden.
Thing saying Chris Paul, James Harden, and Capella on the court at the same time is the best offensive efficiency in NBA history.
Oh well,
yeah.
They're pretty good, but honestly, James Harden's going to wind up winning MVP. I don't really think that's going to be taken away from him at this point. However, I will say, if you're going to take one player off this team. And you wanted to crush them as valuable, it would be Chris Paul. Like if Chris Paul's not playing, they're butt cheeks. They're not good.
They're just like they were a couple years ago.
Well, I think Capella is more important than people give him credit for, because I know Cat kills Houston.
Didn't someone get hurt on the Rockets?
What?
Right? Someone just got hurt on the Rockets yesterday.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
Somebody good.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, dude. Let me look.
Must not have been good enough.
That up, but like I was saying, Cat kills the Rockets. He owns Capella, and Capella's the only person that has a chance in slowing Cat down because they're not going to throw Ryan Anderson on him.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
It was Luke and Button Butte. got hurt.
Like badly hurt, or like I have the sniffles?
He's out for a month, I think.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, he plays a lot, right?
He's gonna miss the first round.
Yeah, so but they have PJ Tucker.
Yeah, they got plenty of bodies to throw in that spot.
That's can play D too, so
yeah.
James Harden can't, but the other guys can, so that's good.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus. Houston's taking that one.
Yeah, everyone picked him. I don't know. We spent way too much time on it, but it's probably because they're Houston.
Question though, I have a question.
Yeah.
If we can go back to the East for a second, how do you guys think Tristan Thompson cheating on Khloe Kardashian and having a baby affect the Cavs in the playoffs?
Savage mode.
I don't know what to say on it.
It helps them. It helps them. It gets them away from the Kardashian curse.
I did hear they didn't even intro him when he came into the game. Was it last night or the night before? They didn't even intro him, and the crowd, his home crowd, booed him. So he's probably on cloud nine right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cheered my life away.
What?
Why?
You were happy because of the Kardashians?
He cheated on his pregnant wife
for the second time.
I think it's just his girlfriend.
It is. It's a Kardashian.
It does not matter.
I didn't catch that part.
A human being.
I didn't catch that part.
I'm just confused.
Pregnant,
I'm just confused.
About to have a child.
Yeah,
she had the baby like a day after.
Hey man, our president did that.
Oh, hot take.
I respect the hell out of him.
The president doesn't have a series to focus on.
Oh,
a basketball game.
Okay, moving on. All right, we're going to the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Utah Jazz, round one. I don't want this to turn political at all, but it can if we can do another podcast for that.
Make the
chunk
Cavs
politics.
great again. Tristan Thompson ball worth money though? Does that make my sign ball worth money since he cheated on her?
Ooh, maybe.
Did you guys know Tristan Thompson cheated on his last girlfriend when she was like 8 months pregnant too?
Tristan Thompson makes horrible decisions. The best decision he ever made was being on a team with LeBron.
For really got a big fat contract and he sucks.
Yeah.
So can we get on to Portland?
No, we're going OKC Thunder versus Utah Jazz, round one. Who do you guys have? Nick, you want to go for it?
I think they found the pieces a little bit with Paul George, and Melo's playing all right, and Russell is Russell, so that's a sweep I have on the Jazz.
Damn, Nick's got a sweep.
A sweep? I don't think I have a sweep at all in mine. I feel bad, but I just couldn't do it. Oh no, I did. I have one, but it's coming in later round.
Rebounding machine. I mean, OKC is playing all right.
He is a monster.
I think you're sleeping on the old Utah Jazz, though. I don't know.
And Donovan Mitchell, Rubio. They have a good squad there, but
this
I
one,
don't like him.
No, this one honestly was I think my hardest first round decision because I have them going 7 games, and I did pick OKC because of Westbrook alone, but. To me, the carcass of Carmelo Anthony and Paul George is like I don't know. Sometimes he's engaged and sometimes he's not. They're set up to fail. To me, I don't know why. They're set up to let the entire city down.
Damn, the entire city.
The Jazz went 1-3 against Oklahoma City. One of the games was close, but the other 2 were blowouts.
Yeah, well, they've been kind of hurt on and off. I mean, they had Rudy Gobert's back, and Rudy Gobert to me is my favorite, one of my favorite players in the league.
Their January, February, March was very strong, so they might be able to pull it off since they haven't played them in 4 months or whatever.
Yeah, I expect OKC to win. I would not be shocked at all if the Jazz stole this series, but it doesn't really matter to me because whoever plays Houston Rockets in the next round is just going to get waxed. So. Anyway, we can move on to Portland Trailblazers taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Nikki, how do you feel about the New Orleans Pelicans? I know they're one of your favorites.
I do love me some Pelicans, and it might. If anybody comes back, I mean, I'm just saying that they might not make it past Portland. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, there's no DeMarcus Cousins. It's just, but I don't think we ever seen a playoff Anthony Davis before. I don't think that's ever happened yet.
Yeah, we have. What do you mean?
This
could be the year, but I don't know.
Did they make the playoffs last year? Am I just mistaken?
Happened, but I don't
I thought they played the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. Maybe not last year, the year before.
I thought they may have snuck in as an 8 seed.
Oh, yeah. And then immediately,
I could have sworn they got smashed by the Warriors before the playoffs.
Well, this isn't the Warriors.
Gone before they could say anything.
Yeah, I picked the Pelicans in 7 games because of Anthony Davis alone, and to me, that's enough. I know Damian Lillard is one of my favorite players in the league, but I don't. For some reason, I don't know what it is about Portland. I don't see it. I don't know.
I got Portland. Just because they got what's his name? I forget. I don't know, but they're good. They're gonna beat the Pelicans without Cousins. I don't really see the Pelicans having anything really. I mean, Davis is good, but you can't beat Portland by himself.
Well, they still have a good defense and playoff primetime Rondo. I'm happy to see it again because he's in the playoffs and Rondo shows up in playoff televised games. So I think he's gonna average a triple double with 40 points. So no.
Okay. 40 points in 7 games.
Oh, okay, all right. That's probably fair. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. All right, I can deal with that. Does anybody else? I think I might have been the only one that picked the Pelicans. No,
nah, I took the Pellies as well.
Yeah, that instills confidence.
I like Anthony Davis. They have a really strong offense, but their defensive game's kind of weak. This was the closest to a toss-up I had of any of the starting. Yeah,
that makes sense. They kind of do fall in like the same category of teams that are just going to get beat in the next round. So you could have really just flipped the coin.
I do have a hot take though. Okay. I think if on the Spurs, Kawhi comes back, I think they beat the Golden State Warriors. If he comes back in game 1.
Okay, so that takes us to Golden State Warriors versus San Antonio Spurs, and Reggie just let it off. But I don't think Kawhi's coming back though. I mean, I feel like we would have heard of that by now. And even if he did come back, he's just going to come back and immediately play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
when's Curry come back?
When's who?
Curry.
I think in the second round.
Yeah, I would probably say second round.
Maybe the Western Conference. Probably the Western Conference because they could beat Portland or the Pelicans without Curry.
Yeah, they're gonna work their way without him, and then when they got to use him, they'll pull him in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the Western Conference. I wasn't gonna fall for it anymore because it's basically Golden State and Cleveland have played each other for the past 3 years. I don't anticipate it being any different until I see it actually change. So. Anyway, so
the only threat would be the Rockets, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I agree, but they won't play the Rockets until the Western Conference Finals, and at that point, I expect the Golden State Warriors to be at full strength, and a full strength Golden State Warriors team is enough, more than enough.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team put together in history of basketball. Easy.
Wow.
Full strength. I mean, they went 73-9 without Kevin Durant. Then they got Kevin Durant. Like that's unreal.
But you're saying
the record did go down though as soon as he came.
Oh, yeah, okay. Come on.
They weren't going for the record.
This year or last year is the best team constructed.
I mean, I guess last year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that team with Kevin Durant. I mean, the main group is like the best team ever constructed.
That's fair. I mean, it's not that hot of a take. I mean, I don't think.
Yes, I mean, I don't see them losing to anyone ever if they keep that core. I don't think they could even. There's no way they lose to anybody.
I would argue they're probably the best 2K team ever made. I mean,
that's a hot take.
Is it a hot take? You just walk up the court and shoot with Steph Curry. It's really that simple. Okay, we'll just go through second round. It doesn't have to be as long, but Toronto versus Cleveland, they get the unfortunate. They really do have the worst path for a number 1 seed. If you win the number 1 seed, you should be able to make the bracket, I think. But that's fair. Anyway, they take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round, according to most people. I know JJ has the Pacers, but at this point,
all right, here's my defense.
Yeah.
I've got more defense.
Okay.
The Pacers beat the Cleveland in 3 out of their 4 matchups this year. And I think that their upset of the Cavaliers this year leads to my other theory of I think LeBron is going to leave the Cavaliers after this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, me too.
That is another conversation that we can have, and I honestly agree. I don't really anticipate him sticking around, and he has no reason to. I don't think at this point. He won one for Cleveland. Why would you stay? Especially with the way it's going.
Lottery picks.
Yeah, but
yeah, but LeBron's too old to wait for lottery.
You think a 34-year-old LeBron's going to want to hang out with a lottery pick?
Well,
Steve, I got a hot take.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lynch, because it's kind of stupid.
No,
go ahead, Reg.
My hot take is LeBron not only goes to LA, but he changes his last name to Ball and becomes a 4th Ball brother.
Wow.
All right, next.
Wow.
Okay. I have I have Cleveland winning in 7.
7? Yeah, I do too. I have Cleveland winning in 7 too. But again, I don't anticipate Toronto being that good, and I also anticipate LeBron being very good. So it wasn't really that hard. I would like to see Toronto get over the hump because to me, if they beat Cleveland, they're going to the finals. Basically, whoever wins this, I don't know. That's that.
I don't know.
Who beats Cleveland? I know. I would take Philly over Toronto if somehow Toronto beats Cleveland.
I had Toronto over the Pacers.
Wait, I'm just saying if Toronto finally overcomes LeBron, you think they're going to choke it against the 76ers?
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
because
Trust the process.
That's the typical Toronto move. Like you can Drake's going to be at the game, but you know Drake still trust the process.
Drizzy.
Okay. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. I get it. I mean, to me personally, I think if they have what it takes to finally make it over Cleveland, I get that they would probably feel like they won the championship, but I would imagine that they would have enough poise after doing that a bunch of youngsters coming at them would. So are we in agreement that you think the Philadelphia 76ers are making it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think everybody had them there.
Everybody
Besides
but
Justin.
Everybody but me, because again, I didn't know when to kill the Boston Celtics, and I know that they're going to die.
Reggie didn't have them.
Jesus,
Reggie
Reggie
had the Cavs over the 76ers.
Yeah, going to the finals. I'm talking about
everyone-
Eastern
Lynch.
Conference Finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone had the Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals, though. So
yeah. Everyone pretty much had.
Reggie just hit us with the earlier the better to kill off the Celtics.
No, I get it. I mean, listen.
I think so.
Plus,
I think. Go ahead.
As a fan, I should have done it sooner to not disappoint myself anymore. But I couldn't bring myself to me. Brad Stevens. I basically said it before. I think Ben Simmons is having a great year, and I think he's going to go through the playoffs and realize how hard it is to I think he's going to get exposed. A good coach will expose him, and I think I classify Brad Stevens a good coach. There's a way to exploit Ben Simmons' inefficiency to shoot the ball. He doesn't want to shoot the ball. He doesn't want to.
He hasn't made 1 3 all season.
Yeah.
But you're not going to hit us with the Rookie of the Year?
Ooh.
What? Okay, that's another argument.
About it.
That's another argument. I think in the way the NBA structures the rookies system, yes, he is the Rookie of the Year this year. I do think Donovan Mitchell should win actual Rookie of the Year, but that's a different thing.
For real, I don't think Ben Simmons is a rookie. I mean, he had a whole year to live the NBA life, train with NBA trainers, do all the NBA shit for a whole year. Learn from an NBA coach. It's not the same as being like an actual rookie.
Blake Griffin won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I know. Same thing.
I'm saying I don't think that's right to have someone.
Ichiro won Rookie of the Year in the MLB. So
I'm
saying it's wrong.
No, I'm not saying he's not the Rookie of the Year. I think he is the Rookie of the Year. I'm just saying I don't think it's fair really to take it. This dude Donovan Mitchell came out of college eating ramen noodles. You know what I mean? Last year and training with a college. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons is getting paid millions of dollars to take care of his body, eat healthy, and train with an NBA team. There's something to be said about that to me.
Do you think the NBA takes the cop out and gives them co-Rookie of the Year?
I wish they would. I wish they would. In this case, in these scenarios, in these scenarios, I think that's what it should be. I think Blake Griffin should have been co with an actual rookie. I think that's what they should do.
But can you name that?
What?
Can you name that rookie that would have won that year?
Dude, Malcolm Brogdon won last year, and what happened? I mean, what is he doing?
He got hurt all year.
They should retroactively give Ben Simmons the award from last year, and then give it to Donovan Mitchell this year.
You got to understand, Brogdon's back now, and he's going to be a key part that helps the Bucks during the playoffs.
Yeah, I know, but Eric Bledsoe's there, and it just seems like I don't know. It's weird. That was a weird situation. I know Brogdon was good last year. It's just, Brian. I don't know.
Doyle, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If the Celtics next year don't make the finals, is that a failure of a season?
If everyone's healthy, yes. If everyone is healthy, absolutely.
Well, I think it depends on the roster construction too.
It's not going to change that much.
Yeah, I mean, if something Kyrie and Gordon, I think that's
I'm going to throw out a hypothetical. LeBron goes to Philly. You're going to say that if Boston plays Philly in the Western Conference Finals and Boston loses, that the season is, a failure?
I still think so. Yes, because I still think their team, as constructed, fully healthy, rivals Golden State. That's what I think. I mean, with Irving, Tatum, and Brown, with Hayward and Horford, I think that's more than enough. And to me, LeBron going to Philadelphia renders Ben Simmons, redundant.
That is true.
I agree. I threw out a hypothetical of a super team in the East. That's it.
No, I get it, and they would be really, really good.
Boston has to go to the finals, and if someone gets hurt again for Boston, that's huge because that's a waste of.
It's the best
the whole thing.
Should go to Philly to take down Boston.
The best chance of anyone getting hurt, the highest percentage would be Kyrie, who continually, somehow gets hurt every single year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I do think if LeBron goes to the West, it's Philadelphia and Boston in the Eastern Conference for the next 5 years.
I don't know about 5 years. I doubt Kyrie might not even stay in Boston.
That's fine. We'll be fine. We'll trade him for. Wait, Isaiah Thomas is back when he's 35. Anyway, we need to wrap this up. We need to wrap this up. So we'll get to the finals. I have Golden State versus Cleveland because until I see it otherwise, I'm not going to change it. Houston, I think, does have potential to knock off Golden State. I don't think it's going to happen if Curry's back and they're fully healthy. That's my take. Anybody else have any differing takes?
Well, not different. It's kind of, beating the dead bush type of thing, but like
in the dead bush.
I see it going 7 with Houston at least. Like you said, it's going to be close, but they're not going to close the deal. And then with Cleveland, I think it doesn't go 7 there. I think they're just too young to compete with Cleveland. With the 76ers, the 76ers are just too young.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah, I think they're going to be amazing even as early as next season if they're fully healthy. But a good playoff coach in a 7-game series where they can make adjustments and constantly see the same guy over and over again, I think he will get exposed. But listen, if anybody outside of Golden State or Cleveland makes it to the finals, I'm happy. I just want to see something different
Me
for
too.
once. I don't care.
I don't. I want to see Golden State, Cleveland.
Why?
4.
No, why? Because it's not even going to be if Golden State makes it. If Golden State,
because I want to. That's why.
Golden State's
I want to
hardest.
see Golden State win it again. I like seeing domination.
You want to see sad LeBron again?
Yeah. Oh, listen.
Listen. Yeah, but if you think about it, listen. LeBron, Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo. It's gonna happen.
Oh, come on.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
LeBron to LA.
Anybody else have any last?
Watching the NBA far before that happens.
Niki, he's awake. Yes.
LeVar as
Niki,
the coach.
who's your finals? I want to know your finals right now, Niki. Tell me who you have in the finals and tell me who wins.
That in the beginning of the pod.
No, I want to hear it now. Right now, at the end of the pod, after you've heard everything that was
say
said.
Who wins though?
I don't know.
That
Niki
is.
said that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Golden State.
Niki said the NBA is
I
rigged.
would like to see. Yeah, it's rigged. I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State won it again, but I would love to see LeBron do it. But it doesn't matter what I say because it's rigged.
No. Okay. All right. Well, who does Adam Silver want to win?
I don't think it's.
Ask him.
Hey,
Let's just go ask the commissioner.
Let's go,
Well, what's the better storyline?
LeBron.
Yeah, I think a better story would be LeBron like beating the best team in history and like he's like the fucking man. If it worked, great.
Yeah. If it happens again, if it's Golden State and Cleveland, I don't see Cleveland getting more than 1 game. Like I don't.
Me either.
Like I don't know.
I have 2.
You're a generous man because this Cleveland team is worse than the last year's Cleveland team, and this Golden State team hasn't really changed much. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I feel the shooting is better. I don't know. I feel it.
I mean, there's ways around that shooting though.
No, the shooting of Cleveland. I feel like the shooting of Cleveland will be better in the finals than it was.
Yeah, but how are they going to
last year.
stop? How are they going to stop a healthy Golden State Warriors team? They can put like 140 points in their slate.
Yeah.
I understand that, but it takes 1 bad game. You steal 1 game, and then in Oakland, and then that changes the series. I'm not saying that they're going to win. I said that they're going to win 2 games. I said
I don't know.
That's
but,
it.
Yeah, but the team last year was better than they are now, and they won only 1.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying that I think they get 2 because I don't think Golden State's as good as they were last year.
Yeah, I don't think this matters either way because Golden State's going to win if it comes down to that, and I think we're all in agreement here, right?
Hey, Doyle, what do you think about Kendrick Perkins on the Cavs?
It saddens me to see it every single time I see him in that jersey. It makes me sick. But hey, I'm happy for him.
I think he's on the team to pull the quote unquote clumsy Zaza.
Oh no! Well, listen. If they make it to the finals, I fully expect Kendrick Perkins to just knock Zaza Pachulia out cold, and I'd love to see it.
I don't think
that's his mission. That's his sole mission.
I don't think it's to go after Zaza. I think it's legit to pull the clumsy Zaza move.
Well, yeah,
like Curry or Durant.
Playoff experience. Big tough guy.
I love to see it.
Or it's to be there in case Draymond kicks someone in the dick again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That is true, though. I think the Cavs that year not tough enough to fight Draymond. Or, just to be tough. Like, they didn't have any tough people. They got bullied.
Yeah, well, that's what Perkins is for.
Kendrick to headbutt someone,
I agree. Well, they still have J.R. Smith, right?
Jeez.
Is he? I think he's still on the Henny. Like did he put his shirt back on yet?
No, he never did.
JR's still on the Henny. He's still asking. You guys saw that meme where it's like, "Yo, why is Kyrie so short?" He's like, "Yo, it's Isaiah Thomas." And he's like, "Hi."
Squinting JR
yeah,
memes are my favorite.
The squinting JR memes. Yeah, those are good.
Like, bro, that's Isaiah Thomas.
All right, we can probably wrap this up now. If anybody wants to see everybody's bracket, it's up on our website, thechunkpod.com. Follow us on Facebook. Follow everyone on Twitter, because if you go to the Chunk's website right now, you can pretty much get everybody's social things and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Lynch with the strongest man grunt to wrap this up. Okay. We'll do this some other time, probably. Maybe next week we'll pull something out of our butts and try to get something else going. But
questionable.
It's everything to do.
Yeah, no, we'll get it together more. So
we should do a way too early NFL draft.
Ooh. Which, by the way,
we should do it we should do it on draft day, like a couple hours before the draft.
Yes, we'll get Mel Kiper on the line and he'll give us all the feedback of these rookies. But by the way, we'll wrap this up. I know this is an NBA playoff thing, but I just want to say something about the NFL draft. Why is it so far away from the end of the season? It makes me sick.
For real.
I forget football exists for a brief moment, and that never happens with basketball because there's constantly something happening.
He's back with a bang.
And a Kardashian doing something, you never forget basketball.
All right. Anybody with any last parting words? Anybody want to say hi to their mom or something?
Hey, Mom.
All right. If your mom's listening and she made it to the end of this podcast, kudos to her. Fantastic.
Bravo.
All right. We're going to wrap this up. It is our very first podcast, NBA playoff preview with the Chunk. Follow us on Twitter.
Chunk.
See ya.
Just do it.